Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show today, guys. This is terrifying, guys. So many things have happened today. It is terrifying for the Democrats, and it's only getting better for those that love America first. Trump has just signed a slew of new executive orders that I'm telling you, they're going to knock your socks off, guys. We got all the receipts today. So much is taking place. One of the biggest ones, guys, is that a new executive order has been signed to establish a specialized Army unit coming from the Pentagon that will travel from city to city addressing crime and reducing the illegal immigrant population. It's official, guys. This is a specialized unit of Army personnel that will be carrying out Trump's policies when it comes to reducing crime across major blue cities, especially the sanctuary cities. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. Are you ready to see military walking down the streets in all these bad neighborhoods? Are you ready to see these people with arms drawn in neighborhoods, cleaning up the streets, reducing the illegal migrant population? Because it's happening. It's official. The executive order's been signed, and it is terrifying the Democrats right now because they're losing their extra voter base. Trump has also signed a new order pertaining to the new mid-decade census that is going to count and recount all only American citizens. And with this new change, guys, this is insanely huge. This is going to grant new electoral vote counts for the 2028 presidential election, bringing an additional 14 electoral votes over to the GOP side. That is huge, guys. 14 electoral votes will be going with this new executive order that's been signed for the new electoral vote count. Another thing that's been signed, the federal funds are going to be withheld from jurisdictions across the United States for allowing a crime to run rampant with cashless bail. Trump signed an executive order cutting federal funds to states and cities using cashless bail, so pulling more federal funds. He signed an executive order also punishing people who burn the American flag with a 1-year jail sentence. This is what Trump said. If you burn a flag, 1 year in jail, no exits, and it goes on your record, you will see flag burning stop immediately. Holy smokes, guys, that is a big one. 1 year in jail. Do not disrespect the country that gives you the freedom to have freedom of speech and express your views, or you're getting 1 year in jail. Let me know your thoughts on the comments in that. Another executive order was been signed to pertaining to delivering on Social Security payments. Stronger, faster, and more secure payments to American citizens only for those receiving Social Security payments. This comes right after finding 300,000 illegals receiving Social Security taxpayer benefits. Trump also has ordered new investigations into all sanctuary cities for the massive cover-up of crime they've partaken in, they have literally called, this is from Stephen Miller, calling murders and homicides accidents. Stephen Miller said full investigation into these mayors, police chiefs, will be held accountable for their deceit and manipulation of numbers, lying to their constituents, covering up crime. Guys, this new specialized unit, this Army unit that Trump has just signed, I'm telling you, we're about to see some dang people get arrested. The Democrats are terrified, guys. And again, we found more of the slush fund money. Howard Lutnick, the Secretary of Commerce, has found that the Biden administration created a new entity called NatCast. It was a slush fund siphoning $7.4 billion in taxpayer dollars to do what? To give this to illegal constituents. They said that those people were illegal, they were unaccounted for, and they were put into left-wing groups, creating fake departments. $7.4 billion has been clawed back, going back to the American taxpayer, guys. This NatCast slush fund was found by Howard Lutnick. I'm telling you, guys, the executive orders, the new slush fund, all this stuff is just is America First policies. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Today's going to be a big show, guys, because again, you don't mess around when Trump's signing these executive orders to literally revolutionize America. Want to say thank you to everybody who is watching, to all of our subscribers and viewers, guys. Y'all are the best. Thank you so much for supporting our channel. Thank you to everybody that is a member of our channel and those that give a super chat donation. I'm so thankful to every single one of you. I want to give some special love to those giving super chats. Elaine Demeen, OG of the channel, guys. Show Elaine some love in the chat. Ava Bernard, Jim Barbado, and Mike Sobczynski. Show them some love in the chat, guys. And if you don't mind doing us a huge favor of hitting that thumbs up like button, guys. We got a big show today. We got the fireworks going. Trump signing these executive orders. The new specialized unit that has been created to clean up America is officially intact. Trump signs the new executive order establishing the specialized National Guard units to address crime in cities. Guys, this is about to become America because we've let in over 20 million illegal immigrants. We have allowed crime to run rampant in these sanctuary cities. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, we got a big show for you today, guys. Things are about to get crazy. Listen to this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
This is an executive order on flag burning. It charges your attorney general.
Would you listen to this? This is very important. Flag burning. All over the country, they're burning flags. All over the world, they burn the American flag. And as you know, through a very sad court, I guess it was a 5-4 decision, they called it freedom of speech. But there's another reason, which is perhaps much more important. It's called death. Because what happens when you burn a flag is the area goes crazy. If you have hundreds of people, they go crazy. You can do other things. You can burn this piece of paper. But when you burn the American flag, it incites riots at levels that we've never seen before. People go crazy. In a way, both ways. There are some that are going crazy for doing it. There are others that are angry about them doing it. Do you want to discuss that?
Sure. So what the executive order does, sir, it charges your Department of Justice with investigating instances of flag burning, and then where there's evidence of criminal activity, where prosecution wouldn't fall afoul of the First Amendment, and instructs the Department of Justice to prosecute those who are engaged in these instances of flag burning.
And what the penalty is going to be, if you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail. No early exits, no nothing. You get 1 year in jail. If you burn a flag, you get, and what it does is incite to riot. I hope they use that language, by the way. Did they?
Yeah, incitement is
incite to riot. And you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail. You don't get 10 years, you don't get 1 month. You get 1 year in jail, and it goes on your record. And you will see flag burning stopping immediately, just like when I signed the Statute and Monument Act. 10 years in jail if you hurt any of our beautiful monuments. Everybody left town. They were gone. Never had a problem after that. It's pretty amazing. We stopped it. But this is something that's, I don't know, in a certain way, it's equally as important. Some people would say it's more important. Because the people in this country don't want to see our American flag burned and spit on. And by people that are, in many cases, paid agitators. They're paid by the radical left to do it. You talk to these people, they don't even know, half of them don't even know what they're doing. They say, I don't know, they gave me money to do this. I see the same things that you do. They're bad people. They're trying to destroy our nation. That's not working, because I think our nation now is the most respected nation anywhere in the world, by far. You saw that with the European leaders on Friday. You saw that with NATO, where they agreed to go from 2% no pay to 5% fully paid up. Trillions of dollars paid, where they respect your president to a level that they jokingly call me the president of Europe. They call me the president of Europe, which is an honor. I like Europe, and I like those people. They're good people. They're great leaders. And we've never had a case where 7 plus really 28, essentially 38 countries were represented here the other day. 38 European countries were represented. European and other countries were represented. And it was a great meeting. But your country is respected again. I say it all the time. 1 year ago, our country was dead. Everybody said it. We had a dead country. We were not going to survive. Now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. So it's an honor to be involved. And this group has a lot to do with it right behind me.
Guys, that is as powerful as it gets. These executive orders that are coming out, which we're going to get into the details of all of them. Trump signs executive orders establishing specialized National Guard units to address crime in cities, guys. Just came out like this stuff. We are going to be a safe city. We are going to clean up America. We're going to stop all the lawlessness. Trump is doing whatever it takes. Let me know your thoughts in the comments if you appreciate this. If you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. This is putting America first, guys. Not only that, President Trump signed, and already all the stuff that's coming from the White House, President Trump delivers on the Social Security promise, stronger, faster, and more secure for all Americans. New executive orders coming out it's beautiful because, again, we've never had a president who says, you know what? We're going to hold people accountable, and if we can't pass it through Congress, I will sign an executive order to make sure that America's put first. And listen to this, because this changes everything. The investigations that are coming across to all the mayors, to all the blue cities, to Washington, D.C., that they were labeling homicides and murders as accidents. Guess what? Your butt's about to be held accountable. Trump's coming after you. The entire Trump administration is going to hold these lawless Democrats held accountable. Listen to this.
Additionally, and the president spoke about this before, we've uncovered, in the process of uncovering, a massive scandal in Washington, D.C. with the doctoring of crime stats. And the Department of Justice, under the Attorney General, is leading the effort to uncover this. But when we ultimately share the results, it will stun you. The extent to which, even though D.C. had the worst crime in America, honestly measured, it dramatically understated how bad it was. There's even accusations that murders and homicides were reported as accidents instead of murders. I mean, this is how severe the manipulation of the crime data has been in this city, and it will all be uncovered and it will all be brought to light.
Baby, I'm telling you, everybody's going to be held accountable, guys. And again, some of the biggest breaking news, guys, coming with the new redistricting of the new census that's coming. Check this out. In a devastating development for Democrats' political future, the U.S. Electoral College is about to swing plus 14 votes in favor of the Republican states. Once Trump gets done with the mid-decade census. Look at this. Projected to gain electoral votes, and then this is projected to lose. I know it says 2032, but Trump's already moving forward with the Commerce Department executing the mid-decade census. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. If you live in one of these states, I'm telling you, America first. Trump is full steam ahead. Get on the train because Trump is going forward. Becky Dempsey, thank you so much for the super chat. GG's, I love it. Y'all show Becky some love in the chat, as well as Jogo for gifting 5 TrueLife News memberships, guys. If you got a free membership from Jogo, show him some love in the chat, guys. Thank you so much, Jogo, for helping us grow our family. And it gets even better, guys. Listen to this. Because Trump is sending all these specialized units, everybody's going to be investigated with these executive orders that have just been signed. Listen to this.
These executive orders, ladies and gentlemen, I think many of them are tie back to the maximalist strategy we've been advocating now for, over a month. Some very important executive orders. I believe some of this is tied to the fact that President Trump's, what he's done in Washington, D.C. is extraordinary about law and order and safety, and he's taken that show on the road to Chicago and I think New York City and maybe even Los Angeles. That's the 3 that we recommend, but Chicago is definitely in the works, maybe Baltimore. Anyway, more about that. I want to bring on Elaine Kalati from Los Angeles, an activist, someone that's talked about home rule and this horrible situation with the fires and the Palisades and the governor, and everybody's focused down there, Elaine, on the governor's race next year. But right now we have a bigger race, and that is a throwdown by Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom is rolling the dice on a presidential run in 2028 to basically take 5 seats from the Republicans. These are folks that get 40% of the vote or 42% of the vote in California. He wants to take them down to 4 seats in a 52-seat delegation. You have been known to have a pretty strong opinion of things. Walk us through your sense of what Gavin Newsom's doing, and is there going to be a fight back from the MAGA base, from the GOP, from the right in California to thwart this in November, ma'am?
Hi, thanks for having me on. Okay, so the first thing I want to say is that Gavin Newsom was losing. He was losing ground, losing his position, losing everywhere. You know that, you've watched it. And the fires came and it sealed the deal. It sealed the deal. It got rid of Gavin Newsom. It was the worst political disaster in history in California. He was done. And when he couldn't extract any more money from the federal government, $1.1 billion, he turned his sights to this redistricting thing, which is essentially a land grab. People don't understand redistricting, de-annexing, moving maps is what it is. And it's a land grab. Once you grab the land, you grab the people. They imported 15 million immigrants into the California region, and they put them in all different towns, and then they redistrict, they count those heads, and then they get more seats. It's just a scam. We're in the middle of a scam.
Wow.
So the Republican Party, there's been a lot of structural things that's made the Republican Party, weak. And you got this, you have the, you don't really have primaries anymore. So consistently the Republicans, although I think it's 38 to 42% of the state, has been grossly underrepresented in the assembly, in the congressional districts and statewide offices. Just how you're an activist is now coming to it and firing people up. How do people anticipate you're going to fire? Because I understand all that about Newsom, and I know he's not going to run on his policies as governor of California for the presidency. What he's done is gone to the playbook of they're leaderless, and they don't think their leaders are fighting for them. What he's done is try to mimic President Trump with the memes and with the smack talk, and he's using this 26, the redistricting, to basically propel himself to the front of the Democratic primary as a fighter. So how do you anticipate people in California, given that we don't have a great track record of, you have more MAGA in California than any state in the union, but just structural issues and the fact that you haven't had leaders who really want to go to the mat, we haven't won a lot. So how are the grassroots, how are people like you going to turn this around when, do not underestimate Gavin Newsom. He's a very cunning, a very sly individual who now has the entire media in back of him because they are looking for something to stop President Trump. And the only way they can stop President Trump is to win the House of Representatives in 26 and begin to impeach him, ma'am.
Okay, first of all, I want to say Trump is like a mean dog to people here. They're scared of him.
I want to show you this already, guys, because I told you, like, I'm the stuff that is coming out today, all this is getting funded by dark money. That's your dark money. We don't play around with this stuff, guys. And everything that we're showing you, we're bringing the receipts. This is as crazy as it gets, what you're about to see next. But I'm telling you, Howard Lutnick, our Commerce Secretary, has now voided an illegal $7.4 billion payment to a Biden ally staff nonprofit for semiconductor research. So they found out they were using $7.4 billion to this nonprofit to do research on semiconductors. In turn, they found that this nonprofit was funding politicians, left-wing groups, leftist activists, guys, with your taxpayer dollars. If you are sick and tired of me reporting stuff like this, because we've had so much lawlessness and stealing from the American tax people, let me know in the chat, guys. I'm sick of this, that we report. Look at this. We avoided it. Thank God, had the right people in place, found the illegal payment, but this was already put in place that we caught at the last moment by our Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick. 7.4 billion, guys, not million, billion. And this is what I love, is this is one more piece that Trump is clawing back for the American tax people, but stuff like this was going to pay all protests, to fund all the activists doing all the riots across the United States. It was a slush fund money pit for these left-wingist Democrats. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys, this literally came out this morning today. It is mind-blowing. When you look at the data, he said that Commerce Secretary canceled in a Biden administration agreement to distribute billions of dollars for semiconductor research through a nonprofit set up and staffed by former political appointees. Rather than establishing these operations within the department, the Biden administration officials spent significant time, effort, and resources creating an unaccountable outside entity, Netcast, to administer taxpayer funds. So you see how they removed it from the actual, for there to be accountability? You can't make this stuff up, guys. 4 days before Biden left office on January 20th, Lutnick noted the Commerce Department agreed to set aside $7.4 billion in advance payments to Netcast after spending nearly 2 years setting it up and tapping administration officials, advisors, and allies to fill out the position. Corruption, guys. We are exposing on this channel. Jogo, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Said, I know who you are. I know what you want. If you are looking to be a socialist, I can tell you you will fail. But what I do have is a president with a particular set of skills. Skills were acquired over a long time. President Trump. Let's go, Jogo. Show Jogo some love in the chat, as well as Sweetie Pie. Thank you so much for the super chat. Said, to anyone who doesn't like what Trump is doing, go find yourself another country. I love it. Show Sweetie Pie and Jogo some love in the chat, guys. Because again, when you set aside almost $8 billion, it's so corrupt. And what you're about to hear next, it gets even deeper.
And if he's not here, he can't be friendly. We can't be around him, and we can't see the evidence of how amazing it is to have conservative policy. And we're out of the conversation. I mean, I think we're out of the conversation completely. There's never a minute that we are involved in anything federally in California. We're completely blocked because of Gavin Newsom's relationship with Donald Trump. And President Trump and President Trump's home rule idea would save California. I have had a close eye on that for a long time, but that's intimidating to the Democrats. They're scared to have any kind of what they want to call martial law, when all it is a tough on crime act. We have no police officers. We have 8,500 police for like 15 million people. It's insane. You're on hold on 911 and they're like, what is your emergency? We're like, you're our emergency. They don't answer the phone. If Donald Trump was here, if there was some sort of containment of our crime, look, every crime bill that's passed, including Prop 36, they kick it out when it gets to the top level. We have smash and grab here. You're allowed to steal $1,000 worth of stuff with absolutely zero repercussion. And with our burned down towns, we have people just squatting and sleeping everywhere. And they want to say, no, don't look over here, but it's 100% true. We have people here that can manage that. We turn the state. But we have to be in the conversation before November. We can't wait till after November. And you know, and I know there's no support for GOP here. I'm going to the GOP convention over the 4th, 5th, and 6th. There's no money. I'm talking to people that want to run. They don't have any money. They don't have any support because there's no GOP support in California. We need money here in California to support conservative policy. Without backing, they can't do it. And I am one person. Backing conservative policy. I'm not interested in backing deals with lobbyists so that I can buy land. That's the backing that we get here. Land developers and people that are looking to game the system. We need real policymakers and backing for real policymakers in California to turn the state. And we don't have it because we're out of the conversation. If Trump's here now walking through the streets and saying hi, people would shake hands and be so happy. And the conservatives would come out from their homes. Right now, they're hiding in their homes. If I wear a MAGA hat, I don't have any friends in California. Needless to say, I say this is what cost all of this. Look around you. There's nothing left to lose. All your houses are gone. All your money is gone. You have no representation. Gavin's not here. Karen's not here. None of them are around. Altadena, it's 19% black. It's wiped out. 2 generations, 3 generations, middle-class Americans lost their homes. They're not talking about that. They're downtown wiping graffiti off of the wall from the people that they brought into the state and saying, oh, look, we're cleaning up LA. ICE should leave. That's what they're doing.
Are you an advocate? President Trump, Washington, D.C., he's completely changed Washington, D.C. in, I think, 10 or 12 days. Now and it's just been reported this morning that folks are talking to governors. They're really working through a quite detailed plan for Chicago, right? But that L.A. and New York are on the list. Are you an advocate of President Trump doing in Los Angeles what he's done in
Guys, let me show you this. It's coming, whether people want it to or not. Trump signs executive order establishing a specialized National Guard units to address crime in cities. Chicago, New York, Los Angeles. He's going everywhere, guys. And what I love is that, again, everything is coming out of the woodworks over the cover-ups that have happened. Listen to this.
Sir, to your point about we want people to welcome us, to ask us, because look at Governor Pritzker in Illinois, or Governor Newsom in Los Angeles, or Governor Moore in Maryland. They're angrier about the fact that the President of the United States is offering to help them get their crime under control than they are about the fact that murderers are running roughshod over their cities and have been for decades. Why are Democrat governors angrier about federal law enforcement helping clean up their streets than they are about the fact that those streets need to be cleaned up to begin with? It shows a real sickness in the head. And I agree with the President of the United States. I think most Democrats, rank and file, nobody likes crime. Republicans don't like crime. Democrats don't like crime. Independents don't like crime. Why are Democratic governors doing everything in their power to make crime easier to do in their cities? It doesn't make an ounce of sense to me. But, Mr. President, I appreciate you being willing to help. And I hope these governors take you up on the offer, because we should clean up all of America's streets. It's the right of every American to live in safety and comfort in their community.
Guys, again, so that's our president. 2028, guys, it's coming. And again, too, there's lawsuits. Things are happening across the board. But I want to give some special love to Thomas Costello. Brother, thank you so much for your support. Said just awarded 100% VA disability, and I'm spreading the wealth. This is such a blessing to our giving. Guys, show Thomas some love in the chat for his blessing in our giving. I'm so happy for you, brother. You should be taken care of. Thank you for your service. Thank you so much. Y'all show some love to Thomas Costello. And don't forget to show some love to Jogo. Guys, this is big, big stuff. And I know we're about to get into the craziest month, I think, of the entire year with what you're about to see next. But I want to show you this, guys, because again, numbers don't lie. Everybody is moving towards the GOP and what Trump is doing to redistrict and how he's going after all these judges, the laws that are not America first. Listen to this, because again, too, you can't help but love it when CNN is outputting positive, just a positive outlook and perspective on what Trump is doing.
Look, the Democratic brand right now has about the appeal with the American voter as the Cracker Barrel rebrand has with the American consumers. Bad, bad, bad. What are you doing? Oh, my goodness gracious. What are we talking about here in terms of big party registration changes in the key swing states? Let's look at the key 4 swing states that, in fact, do keep track of registration by party. Look, the Republican Party is in their best position at this point in the cycle since at least 2005, in all 4 of these key battleground states. We go out to the Southwest, Arizona. How about Nevada? Republicans haven't done this well since 2005. Oh, my goodness gracious, at this point in the cycle. North Carolina, I couldn't find a point at which Republicans were doing better at this point in the cycle. It's at least this century, probably goes way back in the last century. And Pennsylvania, very similar. Republicans doing better at this point than at any point this century, at least as far as I could find. Now, what types of gains are we talking about here for the Republican Party? Well, let's compare it to this point during the first Trump administration all the way back in 2017. Look at this. The Republican Party gains in party registration compared to this point back in 2017 during the Trump.
Guys, if you appreciate this, if you don't mind doing us a huge favor of hitting that thumbs up like button, guys, this is massive. What you are seeing here is that a red wave is coming. El Vidente, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. I love it. Show El Vidente some love in the chat. This is massive. Look at these huge swings, guys, towards the GOP, towards Trump, towards MAGA. This is what I'm talking about.
First administration in Arizona, you got a Republican gain of 3 points. Okay, how about Nevada? Up the hill we go, even though we're sticking in the Southwest, a gain of 6 points. How about, again, we come to the East Coast, North Carolina, a gain of 8 points for the Republicans. And in the Keystone State, in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, again, we're talking about a gain of 8 points. My goodness gracious, for Republicans, they are converting old former Democrats to their side of the ledger, as well as picking up new voters, registering new voters, and it absolutely paid off for them back in the 2024 election.
Guys, you can't make this up, guys. This is, if you are a Democrat, you are terrified right now with what Trump is doing. When he comes out in favor and delivered, there are 72 million Americans that rely on Social Security, and guess what? Stronger, faster, more secure payments for all Americans on the Social Security promise of delivering to the American people. When he comes out and says, oh yeah, we're going to claw back $7.4 billion payment to a slush fund that the Biden administration set up, guess what? Back to the American people. When you look at, he is signing an executive order establishing a specialized National Guard unit to address crime in cities. It's everything that America wants, continuing to putting America first, doing what common sense people want. And again, this is what's going to win us a red wave in the midterms, especially with what you're going to hear next, guys, from the Speaker of the House.
Completely true, Mark. This is not your parents' Democratic Party, and we keep reminding everyone of that. There is a wide chasm now between the Republican Party, which stands for America's core principles and the things that made America great, and the Democratic Party now that is moving further and further to the radical, woke, progressive left. They're embracing, as you said earlier, Marxism. They're running candidates who are avowed Marxists, socialists, communists for public office, some of the highest offices in the land, and it's alarming to us. The contrast here is so clear, and the lack of vision that they have equally clear. There's no platform, no principle, nothing they can run on. They don't have a strong leadership here. They have no one to pull them back to the center, to common sense. And so we just stand here and present the truth. As I said on the floor on the eve right before the vote on the big, beautiful bill, look, there's two parties here. One is into performance art, and the other party is here delivering results. And I am so happy and very bullish about the upcoming midterm election in 2026, because we will be able to go out to the people and show all this, demonstrate it, illustrate very clearly that there really is only one choice if you care about the future of the country. And we will be presenting that with bold colors, as our hero Ronald Reagan used to say.
And you're trying to address this. I mean, this big, beautiful bill, you've got school choice in there because the teachers' unions have a hold on education in this country, and that's where it starts. In kindergarten right up, and we see the ideology. You're grabbing a hold of government TV and government radio. We have plenty of television stations and radio stations. We don't need government TV and government radio subsidized by the taxpayer, particularly when they're pushing this very agenda. You're trying to get a hold of the borders. You're trying to secure our immigration system. You're trying to deport people who are trying to destroy our country and so forth and so on. So the Republican Party, with the president, with you as Speaker, with John Thune as the leader in the Senate, you're actually trying to do things about this. But you are up against a fierce opponent, fierce opposition, and same with their courts. I fear greatly. We can't win every election. I fear greatly, whether it's 5 years, 10 years, 12 years from now, if they take one chamber or they take the presidency, that they will try to unravel everything that we're doing here. And it's kind of hard to stop them, right?
Yep. Well, absolutely. I mean, everything is on the line in the midterm election in 2026 is why I keep highlighting the importance of that, because remember, there's only twice in 90 years that a sitting president has picked up seats for his party in the House, for example, in that first 2-year cycle after he's elected. But we must do it. We must defy history and do that this time, because if the Democrats, the radical, woke, progressive, Marxist Democrats, were able to take the majority in the House of Representatives, they would impeach President Trump on the first day of that Congress. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Early January of 2027, and it would descend again into chaos. They abuse their power as they did in the last time. We will resort again to lawfare and all the abuses. It will be a disaster for the country. And so this is about much more than politics. It's about the founding principles of the country and preserving the very foundations that made us who we are. We believe in our party in the simple truths, right? The foundational principles: individual freedom, limited government, the rule of law, peace through strength, fiscal responsibility, free markets, human dignity. These are the things that are on the ballot. It's not just between dueling candidates. It's between the principles and the platforms that they present and represent. We're going out doing candidate recruitment right now, Mark. I'm really, really bullish about the upcoming cycle, because I know we're going to have great people who are going to be able to go out and articulate this, and again, demonstrate to the American people what the first 2 years of the Trump administration have yielded. As you said at the opening there, we've had the most productive first 6 months of any Congress, any administration, I think, in history, maybe back to the American Revolution. And we're going to continue and do that all the way through the election cycle.
We have a lot to run on, and you have a lot to run against, given the other party. But I will tell you this: we better be united, we better be strong, we better be focused, we better be articulate. We can't waste our time on Epstein and other stuff that are going on here that some people want us to focus on. I've about had it with all that stuff. We better focus on who we are, what we're doing, where we want to take the country, and what they want to do to the country. Mr. Speaker,
guys, this is big too, because again, if we do not win, everything gets unraveled. Everything gets unraveled. And this right here, again, when we look at what's most important, it's right here, guys. Look at this chart. This is one of the charts that just circulated so much over social media about the amount of people eligible to be mass deported. Look at how many people in Texas: 1.7 million, 2 million out of California. This is just insanely huge. 900,000 out of Florida. Of the amount of people that are here illegally, should be deported. And then again, to remember, whenever they were coming into our country, NGOs were handing them taxpayer benefits sign-up forms. You can't make this stuff up of how much they tried to buy every single one of these votes. And I think a lot of what you're about to see next, people are happy about, guys, because again, too, Trump's doing this insanely well with the tariff revenue, and now it is official where the money is going to first with the tariff revenue. Listen to this.
Scott Bessent says that the Trump administration is using tariff revenue to pay down national debt, dismissing the idea of a rebate check disbursement within the next few months. The secretary telling me recently that he's expecting that tariff revenue to exceed $300 billion this year alone. The national debt currently stands at $37.25 trillion. Joining me now is the president for a committee for a responsible federal budget, Maya McGinnis. Maya, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. And you've been so great in terms of itemizing the budget and telling our viewers what the main issues are. What is your expectation in terms of tariff revenue? And what is your reaction to the fact that we're talking about real money now? I mean, you know, Bessent is talking about up to $1 trillion in revenue from these tariffs over the next couple of years to go toward cutting debt.
Indeed, this is turning out to be a very significant revenue stream, and that is good news because we need it. We need everything that we can get that will bring our structural borrowing down. So there are a lot of questions about the tariff revenue. Which tariffs will stay in place? How long will it be collected? Will that base of tariff that the tariffs are put on, will that shrink? But so far, the numbers indicate that the revenue is coming in very strongly, and this is going a tremendous way to offset the additional borrowing that came from the tax cuts that were just passed. And furthermore, his additional news that they're not going to give this money back, but instead use it for deficit reduction is absolutely the right priority. It's very important that we keep that there and help get the government finances back in the right direction. It's not getting us on track. We still have a huge amount of borrowing.
Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments if you support this. They are not going to do, at least for the next 3 months, no tariff rebate checks, but they are going to pay down the national debt. What do you think? Is this the right decision to make? Man, it sucks because the same people that put us into the debt, now you got Trump came in and is making more money for America, and we don't even see anything of it. I don't know. I'm kind of like, I'd love to see people that are taxpayers that have paid into the system, that are seniors who have paid in, be taken care of. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys, if you appreciate this top breaking news. Guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. Guys, thank you so much for your support. Gosh, there's so much going on today
that they've inherited, but this would offset a lot of the tax cut borrowing that was just put in place. So by all accounts, it's a big fiscal improvement if it stays in place.
So what are your expectations in terms of spending and getting spending under control? You know that the Republicans have talked about another reconciliation plan at some point later this year. The Economic Policy Innovation Center is circulating a new memo with key congressional GOP figures. And a source told Fox News Digital the conservative roadmap is targeting Medicaid and student loans for the next President's Big Beautiful Sequel, they're calling it.
So, Maria, I have to say I've been somewhat shocked.
Do y'all see this, guys? Again, this is big breaking news, guys, over the second big beautiful bill that's about to happen. This is huge. What do we need to do? Take care of those that are seniors, Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, and you're about to hear it next.
And disappointed how little willingness there is to address spending so far. We have Republican President, Senate, and House. And it was my sense that that would mean that there would be a real focus on controlling spending. What we saw in the reconciliation bill was a huge willingness to cut taxes, but a much more concentrated willingness to reduce spending, with many members saying, oh, I don't want to touch that. I don't want to do Medicare. I don't want to do Medicaid. All of these things that we know need to get under control. We need to look at how that spending works. And so I am worried moving forward. What we do need is another reconciliation bill that focuses on generating savings. For instance, the spending fell about $600 billion short from what the House had asked for. The very least they could do is pass a spending bill that cuts about $600 billion in spending. That won't be enough to improve our fiscal situation in any way that's significant, but it would be at least keeping to their original promise. But there have been so many promises of what not to do when they talk about reducing spending. So yes, I hope they will focus on Medicare, Medicaid, student loans. There were some areas of improvement already in both Medicaid and student loans. They need to build on those. We will be eager to put out lots of ideas where there are useful improvements to be made. But you know, politics, turns out that nobody wants to cut spending that much. Politicians like to cut taxes and raise spending, and that's the equation that really doesn't work.
And I would imagine that only intensifies going into a re-election year of 2026, Maya.
Guys, it makes no sense. Cut taxes, increase spending. That's how we're going to make things work. No, it's not going to happen, guys. We have to cut the fraud, the waste, the abuse. We have to hold people accountable, and we have to make sure America is put first, and that we stop all the lawlessness, guys. This right here, again, I just can't get over. Because, again, when you try to fathom what $7.4 billion is, and now we find out that the Biden administration concocted this slush fund money. Howard Lutnick found it, voided the payment. It's not going out. This is just like, this stuff happens. And if we didn't have Trump in office, think of how much more billions of dollars we would just continuing to be pushed into debt as a nation. Redeem Patriot, thank you so much for the super chat. Said our nation has a bigger problem than me not having enough money on fixed income. Pay the debt. God bless America, brother or sister. I don't know, because it's just an eagle. But thank you so much for your support. Y'all show Redeem Patriot some love in the chat. Kathy Brewer, thank you so much for gifting 10 TrueLife News memberships. Guys, if you got a free membership from Kathy, show her some love in the chat. OG of the channel. Kathy's been with us for a minute. Guys, that's for a long time. Show her some love in the chat, guys, because again, we're not playing around, guys. I'm sick and tired of all the lawlessness happen, and listen to what Trump has to say next, because I'm telling you, we're getting closer and closer to what I feel like is a true America. And y'all don't forget to show Kathy some love in the chat.
So we're going to sign, and then we'll take a few questions, and we'll tell you how good a job we're doing. We want to go from here to other places, but I was telling some of the people that in a certain way, you really want to be asked to go. You know, I hate to barge in on a city and then be treated horribly by corrupt politicians and bad politicians, like a guy like Pritzker. He ought to spend more time in the gym, actually. This guy is a disaster. Gavin Newsom's a disaster. When we went, we saved Los Angeles. You wouldn't have been able to have the Olympics in Los Angeles. You're barely able to have it now. They did lose 25,000 houses to a fire that should have never occurred because they didn't let the water come down from the Pacific Northwest, which you guys don't want to write about. I had to break into the water supply to let the water down. And even now, we want more. We can have much more. It's less than half of what should be coming in. I don't know, they have a political thing about it. It's like the craziest thing I've ever seen. But I don't like going to a town, a city, place, a state, and then be criticized by some corrupt or incompetent governor.
Guys, and what he's talking about is this right here. That Trump has signed an executive order establishing the Specialized National Guard unit to address crime in cities. So he's like, look, we're going to ask them. We want them to cooperate. We're going to try to work with them. But if they don't cooperate, we're going to save America whether they like it or not. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I think Trump's doing the right thing because these governors don't care. When you let in these illegal immigrants, sanctuary city status, giving billions of dollars to non-citizens, you're asking to be kicked out of your position and for true America First policies to be pushed on you.
Where crime is rampant. Like, take a look at D.C. Crime was rampant. It was at the all-time worst. It got really bad during the Biden 4 years. And then I have a mayor stand up and say how crime has reached a 30-year low. 30-year low. People are being killed left and right. And it's not a 30-year low. Think of it. So for 11 days, there have been no murders. The record goes back years where that's happened. They haven't seen that happen in years. And then people stand up, and instead of thanking us, which they should do, and she's not that bad. She's better than most. But, you know, you have people, I watched in Illinois, Chicago, Illinois is a disaster. I have property there. It's a disaster what's going on in Chicago. And you get Pritzker, he's violating our rights. I think this is another men and women's sports thing. I think this is one of those, you know, they call them 80-20 issues. I call them 97-3. I think the Democrats better get smart. And, you know, politically, I hope they don't. But actually, in terms of love for the country, I hope they do, because it would be good to work together. So I'm thinking about, you know, when I have some slob like Pritzker criticizing us before we even go there. I made the statement that next should be Chicago because, as you all know, Chicago's a killing field right now. And they don't acknowledge it. And they say, we don't need him. Freedom, freedom. He's a dictator. He's a dictator. A lot of people are saying maybe we like a dictator. I don't like a dictator. I'm not a dictator. I'm a man with great common sense, and I'm a smart person. And when I see what's happening to our cities, and then you send in troops, instead of being praised, they're saying you're trying to take over the republic. These people are sick. But I'm really saying, and I say this to all of you, in a certain way, we should wait to be asked, because they have cities that are so under control, you know, out of control. So we go in and fix it. They take the full credit for it, and they go out and say, I heard it this morning. They're saying how well they've done over the last 10-day period, that they set record lows. They don't say that we're there with very tough people, by the way. They have to pass a toughness test. Otherwise, they're not working for us. So, and we're allowed to do that now, according to the United States Supreme Court decision. Now, they have to pass a toughness test. If they're not tough, we don't want them for this job. They might be great for other jobs, but not for this job, because they're respected. You saw the gang of kids. They were all huddled up, and a group of soldiers walked up. They never even got over. Those kids ran back to their homes or wherever the hell they came from. They were gone. This is one of the safest cities right now in the world, as crazy as that sounds. And it took 7 days. It took really 3 days, but we're now in our 11th day.
Guys, it's so massive. Think about it. Stuff that's never happened before. And now Trump is so patriotic. You don't get more patriotic than this, guys. Let me zoom in a little bit. Trump wants a year in prison for flag burners. That's big, guys. It's one thing. I understand it's one thing if you want to express yourself and say, things, say you hate America, yet you're here, yet you partake of everything that is America. But when it comes to burning the flag, the very thing that represents our freedom, our liberty, heck no. Let me know if you support this or not, guys, because I'm telling you, Trump is cracking down on everybody right now. And want to give some special love to Jogo for gifting 5 TrueLife News memberships. Let's go. Growing the TrueLife News family. I love it. Show Jogo some love in the chat, man. I am so thankful for this community, this family. Y'all are the best. Don't forget to show some love to Kathy Brewer, Thomas Costello. Guys, show Thomas some love in the chat. He was just awarded 100% VA disability, and now he's spreading it out, helping us in our giving. Remember, on the 22nd of every single month, we use this money, we give to local charities. This next month's going to be to a local children's home, guys, and I love it. I love changing and helping these kids' lives. It's so exciting. Show them some love in the chat. And again, too, guys, y'all are really going to enjoy this one. So they found out some more stuff on old Senator Shifty Schiff. You know who he is. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys, thank you so much for your support. Listen to this.
Democrat Senator Adam Schiff just formed his own legal defense fund as the Justice Department and a federal grand jury in Maryland are criminally investigating the California Democrat for mortgage fraud. He faces potential criminal indictment for claiming his Maryland home as his principal residence to get a cheaper mortgage when he had declared his Burbank, California condo his principal residence. Look who's here, GOP strategist and lawyer Ford O'Connell. Ford, it's good to see you again. What's your reaction to this? Because Adam Schiff has been saying the rule of law must apply to everybody.
Yeah, for 4 years, Adam Schiff lectured President Trump and Republicans that no one is above the law. And now he's finding out what equality under the law means. And this is not revenge. This is justice. And frankly, voters do not like when politicians use their office to enrich themselves. But I'm going to tell you something, Liz. Mortgage fraud may not be Adam Schiff's biggest problems legally.
What do you mean?
Well, he also is being investigated for intentionally leaking classified information for political purposes to undermine the Trump administration and harm the peaceful transfer of power. He could face up to 10 years if convicted under the Espionage Act on that front.
So there's that. And, the mortgage fraud, I mean, the FHFA director sent over the criminal referral, and he's basically spelled out what happened. Schiff has lived in his home in Potomac, Maryland for 22 years with his wife and children. He allegedly got cheaper mortgage rates, property taxes went down, and other insurance costs were lower by declaring that his primary residence. But then he declared his tiny one-bedroom condo in Burbank, California. It's less than 700 feet as his principal residence. It can't fit a family of 4. His attorney, Pre Parara, has referred to this as, disputing on this, is saying this is going nowhere. What do you make of what you just heard?
Well, the point here is that this is justice. Adam Schiff chose not to follow the rules. He chose to allegedly break the law by claiming he has 2 primary residences. What's even worse is he represents California, and he doesn't even technically live in California. If the allegations are true, Adam Schiff should face punishment.
There's also this. President Trump called on Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook to resign, citing FHFA director's similar allegations of mortgage fraud, doing sort of the same thing. Your final word.
Well, she needs to actually be suspended. Here's why. As a Fed Gov board member, she actually deals with interest rates. She's claiming to get better interest rates. So therefore, even if the allegations are untrue, she should be suspended because it's rationally related to her job. And we can't have her enriching herself when she is, in fact, setting interest rates.
Interesting. Ford O'Connell, thanks for being with us. Great to always see you.
Guys, I'm telling you, Trump is a G, guys. This guy is... Okay, so this is kind of coming out across multiple outlets right now that he wants to change the Pentagon's name to be called the Ministry of War, not Defense. Instead of the Ministry of Defense, Ministry of War. He said, we don't just want to defend, we want to attack. Guys, holy smokes, guys. Trump is a G. And not only that, guys, some good news right here. Far left New York Times reports that the first immigrant population drop in decades has officially happened under Trump. The first time we've had immigration drop. No more people coming in that aren't supposed to be here. We want only American citizens to be put first right now. Over the past 4 years, illegals, the Democrats were stepping over Americans to get to illegals. And now we're finally seeing that even the New York Times can't help but report it, guys. Is this not what we voted for? Is this not promises made, promises kept? And again, we're just getting started, guys. All the stuff that's coming out, the stuff with Bolton, the stuff with Shifty Schiff, all these people that lied, cheated, went after them. What I love is whenever you start getting people to speak under oath, you start hearing them being called out. This is huge. Mr. Tracy J. Norby, let's go, brother, in the chat. Guys, don't forget to show Mr. Norby some love in the chat for his help with our donation to the veterans, helping them find homes and things like that with our giving. Show Mr. Norby some love in the chat. Listen to this.
Thank you so much for joining us, Congressman. I don't know if you were able to hear that. Nicole Parker did a very good job of sort of laying out exactly what the safeguards were going into this raid, but also pointing out the differences between the raid we saw this morning and the raid against Mar-a-Lago. Can you expand on that?
Yeah. No, I think Nicole's exactly right. I don't know how this went down today, but you're right. The press wasn't there. There wasn't all this, the big scene that it was 3 years ago this month when they raided President Trump's home. I think the big takeaway, though, is think about what we've learned in the last 4 weeks. Because of the good work of the Attorney General, of Director Patel, of ODNI Director Tulsi Gabbard, think about what we've learned. We learned that Jim Comey and his chief of staff were leaking classified information. We learned that a whistleblower has come forward and said Adam Schiff was leaking classified information. We learned from Tulsi Gabbard that there's another whistleblower who said that they changed the intelligence community assessment. They changed the report to say something different back before President Trump even took office, between Election Day 2016 and Inauguration Day. And now we learn that change, by the way, Charlie, was done by Brennan and Clapper at their urging. The report was changed back then. And now we learned today that John Bolton mishandled classified information. So you got Comey, Schiff, Clapper, Brennan, Bolton, all out to undermine the president. That's the story here. You mentioned the deep state a few minutes ago. That's the deep state in action, trying to sabotage the guy we the people put into the Oval Office. That's what they tried to do. And now you got good people running these federal agencies who are looking at the facts and just going on the facts and bringing that forward. This is not political retribution. This is accountability, and it's exactly what the American people voted on when they put President Trump in the White House on November 5th.
Okay, and so I think it's so interesting. Those forces operated throughout President Trump's first term. They continued to operate for the entire 4 years of the Biden administration. Have they been neutered now? Have those forces been silenced? Have they been broken?
Well, I do think it was interesting what Greg said as well, the arrogance of these individuals. We actually deposed Mr. Clapper and Mr. Brennan last Congress on a different issue. Remember, they also signed that now famous letter, the 51 former intel officials who think they're so much smarter than us hillbillies in flyover country, signed the letter saying the laptop wasn't real when they knew it was. The FBI had the laptop. So we deposed. But yeah, these guys are all think they're better than us. Now, President Trump has taken their security clearances, which I think is a good first step. Right. And we'll see what happens. We know that Attorney General Bondi is looking into the issue Tulsi brought forward, the changing of this intelligence community assessment in 2016 and 2017. I think Mr. Brennan said things to Trey Gowdy in a committee hearing. I think he may have said things to us in our deposition last Congress that don't make sense. So I'm glad she's investigating that, and I'm glad Mr. Bolton, if he in fact kept classified information. You know what this sounds like too? This is what Joe Biden did. Joe Biden kept classified information at his home because he was writing a book. We had that hearing with Special Counsel Hur, and we asked Mr. Hur, and there were 8 million reasons why Joe Biden kept kept that classified information because that's the advance he got for the book that he was writing. It looks like John Bolton may have been doing the exact same thing. So God bless these great people who are now head of these agencies who are getting to the facts and bringing it forward. And if people need to be indicted, that's going to be up to the Attorney General's office, the Justice Department, and I have complete confidence in them.
And of course, we also know that the only reason that Joe Biden wasn't charged is because he was A, president, and B, he was too mentally incompetent to stand trial for those things. So, Jim Jordan, thank you so much for joining us.
Guys, is that not crazy? Again, it's like some of this stuff that we were reporting, like you can't even make up of how much corruptness has happened. But the big news today, guys, Donald Trump signs executive orders. We've got orders of a new military unit. We've got orders of burning the flags. You get 1 year in jail. We've got, guys, we've got orders, oh my goodness, that are so America first that when you look at everybody that has come prior to Trump on being the president, nobody even compares. And it's not just Trump, it's his whole team, everybody. Look at this. Robert F. Kennedy was just found to have the highest nationwide favorability rating among Americans at a +7 points per the Harvard-Harris poll. Look at this. Donald Trump with the favorability of 46%. Remember, it's Harvard-Harris. RFK Jr., 44%. J.D. Vance at 39%. Joe Biden at 38%. Elon Musk at 36%. And then so on and so forth. That's pretty big, guys. It's not just Trump. It's the Dream Team. That's what I love. If you appreciate the Dream Team, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support. We are just bringing it in again, too. More is coming. More is coming. We're not done. More to come. This is straight from our VP himself over the new investigations that are coming to all these corrupt politicians. This is huge. Listen to this.
And the American people let this case actually unfold. If they let the investigation unfold as it's currently doing, they're going to find out that what we're doing is being very deliberate and being very driven by the national interest and by the law here, and that's as it should be.
That's Vice President J.D. Vance defending the federal government's investigation into former National Security Advisor John Bolton, pushing back against Democrats who are calling the raid on Bolton's home retribution. The FBI conducting a surprise raid on Friday on Bolton's Maryland home over claims that he sent highly sensitive classified documents from a private email server to his family during the first Trump administration. Bolton has not been charged with any crimes. Joining me now is Arkansas Congressman Rick Crawford. He is the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. Mr. Chairman, great to see you this morning. Thanks so much for being here. Your reaction to what took place on Friday?
Yeah, I think the vice president summed it up pretty well. Look, I think if the FBI under Director Patel and the DOJ under AG Bondi feel like it's necessary to serve a warrant, probable cause indicates that they need to serve a warrant, then that's fairly standard. I don't think Democrats should be throwing a fit over this, particularly given the nature of the raid on Mar-a-Lago. This is relatively mild by comparison. And so I don't understand the outrage over this particular incident. And, this will be fully adjudicated. This is very transparent. Everybody's aware of what's going on here. It's not like this is some sort of a secret plot to try to take somebody down. It just seems to be a double standard here.
Well, I mean, there is a double standard. And by the way, there's outrage on the other side as well. I've got some outrage over the 10 years of attacks on President Trump and the lies from Russia collusion to indictments to impeachments and all the rest, trying to smear the president's name for so many years. Are we ever going to see any accountability for that, in your view?
Yeah, in fact, our committee has taken some pretty bold steps to ensure that happens. D&I Gabbard has you've seen what she's done over the last couple of weeks, where she's basically pulling back the curtain saying, here's what happened. There will be accountability. There's a whole lot of folks at the very top of the heap, from President Obama to former FBI Director Comey to former CIA Director Brennan, former DNI Clapper, and a whole host of senior executives in those related agencies that have a lot of explaining to do, and D&I Gabbard is leading a transparency effort.
Well, I mean, look, you're the chairman of the Intelligence Committee, and there was a time that Adam Schiff was the chairman of the Intelligence Committee. And while he was the chairman of the Intelligence Committee, he went on all these TV shows, and he said that Trump colluded with Russia, and that there was Trump-Russia collusion in plain sight. Now, as chairman of the Intelligence Committee, wouldn't he have known better?
Ooh.
Well, he should have, and in fact, he did. And so he basically conjured up a whole lot of speculation. Yes, he did lie. He's a serial liar and a serial leaker. He should have never been chairman of that committee, never been on the committee as far as I'm concerned. But I was on the committee the entire time that he was chair and ranking member, and he had no business being on that committee, and there's more to come on that.
What do you mean?
Again, it's just they're going to say lies. They're going to try to call Trump out. They're going to try to say all different things, just like this is blowing up the internet right now over Trump, that everybody's calling Trump a dictator because he wants to go and reduce crime in our crime-ridden cities with a National Guard deployment. And he's threatening this. He's already signed the executive order to create the new specialized National Guard deployment through this executive order in a national emergency that we got to clean up our cities. What's so bad about that? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys, because again, everybody that I feel like is corrupt in Washington, Trump is cleaning out the deep state and exposing them right now at the highest level. Want to say thank you so much, ORR0047, so much for the super chat. I looked it up, so Funny Girl is the name, but Funny Girl, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Y'all show Funny Girl some love in the chat. That's ORR0047. Thank you so much for your support. What we're dealing with, guys, this is not Trump. Remember, there is no second term. He's not going to try to run for president again. He's coming in to clean house and do whatever it takes to put America first.
Well, I mean, look, the Durham report indicated a whole lot of information there that, that we knew of. But, look, we can't jump out there and say things that are classified.
Right.
In contrast, Chairman Schiff, ranking member Schiff, would leave proceedings in the Intel Committee from a SCIF, a Secure Compartment and Information Facility, and walk out to a media spray and immediately leak information in real time, and then walk back into the proceeding.
That's right. And I remember that. I lived it because I was watching what he was doing. And I thought to myself, he's the chairman or the ranking member of this committee. He has seen information that we have not. So for him to go on all these shows and say that collusion is in plain sight when he knew he had no evidence of it being the chairman. That's why I posed the question to you. You're the chairman. You know what you have. You know what you've seen much more than we have. So to use your title to have this authority to say something about a sitting president, I mean, is there any accountability for that?
Well, there will be. We're going to allow the FBI and Department of Justice to do what they do, and it's not in the lane of the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. We can make criminal referrals, but we don't prosecute. We aggressively oversee the agencies, and where there is misconduct or any indication of something that needs a referral, we're happy to make that referral, but that is in the lane of DOJ and the FBI.
Of course. Mr. Chairman, the DNI, Tulsi Gabbard, also announced a major transformation of the agency. She's calling it ODNI 2.0, aiming to cut more than its size by more than 40%. That would save $700 million a year. Your reaction to that?
Guys, I just want to show you this, that just imagine if Tulsi Gabbard is cutting 40% of the workforce. Think about how bloated it was. Think about how much wasteful positions were there. We're just spending all this money and they don't operate it efficiently. And now saving $700 million a year. Like, oh my goodness. Like when they talk about this money, I don't know about you, but it blows my mind that they talk about this money like it's nothing. And yet we have the right people in place that are literally blowing up the deep state, the Federal Reserve, and just giving us so much more transparency, savings, putting America first. If you appreciate this, man, if you don't mind doing us a huge favor of hitting that thumbs up like button, guys, we're having a great show. This is huge, so big today. Trump and all these executive orders, so much winning for America. And if you're not subscribed, please consider joining our family here at TrueLife News. We want you here. We want to serve you every day with the TrueLife News. Just true, guys. It's the truth. And want to give some special love to those that have supported us and donated today. Guys, remember, when you donate on the 22nd of every single month, we give this money to a local charity, and we've given so much with your support. And we are changing lives. And this next month, it's going to be at a local children's home. We're helping out kids that don't got families, but they got us. And I love it, and I know that you love it too. We've got a beautiful family here at TrueLife News, our beautiful chat, and we just continue to grow it every single month. Want to give some special love to Thomas Costello. Guys, y'all show Thomas Costello some love in the chat. OG Kathy Brewer for gifting 10 TrueLife News memberships. If you got a free membership, show Kathy some love. Also, show Funny Girl some love in the chat. Mike Subsinski. Thank you so much, brother, for your support. Andy said that Trump's DOJ is gaslighting all of us by releasing Maxwell's tapes and telling us there's nothing burger to see here. We're going to see, guys. Y'all show Andy some love in the chat, as well as Becky Dempsey, Jogo, for gifting 10 TrueLife News memberships. Show Jogo some love for helping us grow our family. Sweetie Pie, El Vidente, Redeemed Patriot. Guys, thank you so much for your support. Show them some love in the chat. Thank you so much for liking and sharing our videos, whether it's on X, Facebook. It means the world to us. We see all the analytics, and when we see how much times you help us grow, share these videos, it just means the world to us. Ava Bernard, thank you so much for the super chat. I love it. Guys, OG of the channel too. Show Ava some love in the chat. Such beautiful, wonderful, giving people. Guys, we're here to serve you. We love you. We appreciate you. And we can't thank you enough. Again, show Ava some love in the chat, as well as everybody else. Y'all are awesome, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.